Hey, what's up, you guys? Just letting you know that one of my videos already got deleted for hate speech. So I gotta chill out. I guess. I said, well, the hate speech was on the Elliot Page video. And I think I just mentioned that I think my opinion is that people who go from being a man to a woman, or being a woman to a man, people who choose to do that are mentally ill. Hopefully that one doesn't get me kicked off. I understand that YouTube is just a bunch of sensitive big babies on the other side. Anybody trying to censor people like that, if you understand, there's nuance to what I think about that. I also think that schizophrenic people are mentally ill, but that doesn't mean I think any less of them, or that I think that bad things should happen, or that I hate them. It doesn't mean anything like that. So, don't understand why it's considered hate speech. Really? Are we all mentally ill at some level anyway? Anyway, I wanted to read some Reddit today and react to some Reddit videos because since the video got deleted, I am just lacking in motivation and morale, and I have been working really hard the past few days. So I'm just going to do something easy and do a little bit of Reddit reactions. And what are the Reddit reactions going to center around? Sexless relationships. Why? Because I have been so interested in that subject lately. There's tons of other things I want to talk about as well, but I've been so interested in this topic lately for whatever reason. If you're curious, real quick, I think that sex is a soft need, I guess you could say, in a relationship. Don't be dirty when I say the word soft. It's a soft expectation I have in my romantic relationships. And when I say soft, I mean that it is an expectation that I have, just as respect is an expectation I have, just as conflict resolution is a soft expectation I have, just as loyalty and faithfulness is a soft expectation. And what does that mean? What is a soft expectation in my mind? A soft expectation is something that you believe that monogamous romantic relationships come with. And there's certain things that I will expect from a partner that would kind of be considered the reason I'm in the relationship, right? I want to be in a relationship where we're both silly. We respect each other. We have good conflict resolution. We both take care of the household work. We both make money. We both want sex. That is something, those are preferences that I have in my relationship. So it's a soft expectation because you're not going to force people to do these things. I'm not going to force somebody to respect me. I'm not going to force somebody to do household chores. I'm not going to force somebody to communicate properly with me. I'm not going to force someone to have sex with me, but if these needs are not being met, if my soft expectations are being ignored or neglected, just as if my partner just stopped deciding to clean the house one day, or she stopped deciding to go to work, or she stopped deciding to respect me, or she stopped deciding to take care of the pets. All of these things, including if she stopped deciding to have sex with me or stopped wanting to have sex with me, all of these things in my mind are perfectly okay reasons to leave your partner. And in my mind as well, you can leave your partner anytime, for any reason, at any point. You don't need a good reason to leave your partner. I understand we make commitments and we should stick to those commitments, but if we decide to leave, we have every right to. We have every right to, no matter the reason. I, in my mind, know that my partner can leave me at any time for any reason. And I, in my mind, also know that it's okay that if I start to feel really neglected or really disrespected in a relationship, that I also have a right to leave. And I'm not afraid to be alone, so I can and I will. And everybody should feel that way. Nobody should feel obligated to stay inside of a relationship that is inherently neglectful. I think sex is a need. It's part of a romantic relationship. Anyway, let me stop gabbing. Let's start with the first story. That's my cat. Let's start with the first story. Got trapped in a basically sexless relationship. This happened to me too, so already relatable. When my wife and I initially got together, it was all sex. Typical, right? But I was upfront because I have a high libido, and it's always outrun by my partner in time and became a problem. She said she has it too, and it seemed like she wasn't lying. This has happened to me before as well. I have to tell every single person that I start dating that I have a high libido, and that sex is a requirement in my relationships. And that I want a relationship where my partner wants sex. They can have a slightly lower libido, but they have to want it too. I don't think anybody that is healthy and of stable mind wants anybody to have sex with them when they don't want it. So I think that it's really great that he's upfront about his high libido to his partner in the beginning. And she seemingly is saying, I feel the same way. And I've met many women like this who say, oh, I also love sex, and I also want to have sex, and I also need sex. Sex is a need. And then somewhere along the lines, it disappears and they change their tune. Anyway, let's get back to it. She was also into an open relationship or including other women before too. That was a weird sentence. She did it in past relationships. I hadn't. It was something I wanted. Then we were together for years because she said she would have to be an established relationship for it to work. But then she says she doesn't think she can share me. But it's not 100% off the table, I guess. She always gave more and more reasons and things that had to happen before it could happen. I don't know if this person's first language is not English, but I am confused by these sentences. But then she says she doesn't think she can share me. Okay, get it? But it's not 100% off the table, I guess. She always gave more and more reasons and things that had to happen before it could happen. Okay, I kind of get what he's saying. She kept moving the goalposts. She kept saying, yes, I'm open to a threesome, but only if we're exclusive, or only if you do the chores, or only if this, or only if that. So it seems like he was trying to have possibly a threesome, and she was refusing, which, that's perfectly fine. I'm not into the polyamory open relationship thing. If you don't want it, be communicative. Tell your partner, no, I don't want it anymore. Okay, I said it before, but I've changed my mind. And it seems like she's just really bad at communication. It almost seems like she lied to him about her sex drive, and maybe even having threesomes, possibly, thinking that it would impress him. Sometimes people just lie in the beginning of relationships. That's what I've noticed, especially women who lie about how they like sex, or women who lie about their libido. And then people lie about a whole slew of other things. They lie about how great they are. They lie about how respectful and kind they are. They lie about sometimes how much money they make. They lie about how tall they are. They lie about how skinny they are. They lie about a lot of things in the beginning just so they can lock you down, unfortunately. In the meantime, our sex life is becoming less and less, leaving me frustrated. I'm literally asking for sex or other here and there. I guess other would be like a blowy. I don't know. And still getting no for an answer, which I don't push. So no sex life continues. Here's the thing, people. Women will constantly say, when you ask for sex, it's really unattractive. Let me clue you in here for a little bit. No self-respecting human being, man or woman, wants to ask their partner for sex. Nobody. Nobody wants to fucking do that. We don't want to ask for sex. Believe me. But it gets to the point where pursuit, like me touching you or kissing you or fondling you, becomes so unwanted for whatever reason, that now I've resorted to asking, because touching you, you're like, get off of me, you're disgusting, you make me ill, you're repulsing me, I'm not in the mood, I don't feel well, get off of me. It comes to the point where touching you is more risky than just asking. So yes, is it embarrassing to ask? Absolutely. It's demeaning and embarrassing and vulnerable in ways that are not good. It makes you feel bad for yourself, honestly. It makes you kind of feel like a loser, like you're unwanted. So do we resort to just asking? Yes, because we don't want to be a creep. We don't want to feel like a creep. We don't want to be a creep. We don't want to be a predator. Anybody who's actually not a predator doesn't want to be viewed as a predator. Predators don't really care. If a predator is an actual predator, if a person is an actual predator, they're going to touch you and be creepy whether you tell them that they're creepy or not. If somebody's not an actual predator, but you tell them that they're a predator, they're going to be offended. They're going to curl up in a ball, cry, go lock themselves in their rooms, and be like, what is wrong with me? Actual predators don't do that. Actual predators just keep going. They push through the barriers. So all these women that are like, men are disgusting, men are creepy, men are pigs. No, you're hurting your man's feelings by making him ask, and then making him feel shameful for liking sex and wanting you, which is really terrible. You're really breaking down a relationship when you do that. You're really breaking into his self-esteem now. And when you are associated with somebody's terrible self-esteem, like if they know that when they come home, they're just going to receive criticism, hatred, vitriol, aggression, they don't feel confident when they come home to you. They do not feel welcome. They do not feel sexy. They do not feel cool. They do not feel masculine or feminine if it's a woman that wants sex. They do not feel good around you anymore, and you're conditioning them that now they're going to feel like they're a creep. I felt like a creep in a few of my relationships. Not because I was a creep, but because they shamed me for the fact that I liked sex and wanted sex with them, which should be a compliment, right? Should that not be a compliment that you are wanted for sex? And here's how I know that that's true, because when it came time for the tables to be turned and my ex, who had been constantly rejecting me for months and months and months, when it came time for her now to want sex and I rejected her because I was already really unattracted to her by this point, so I rejected her. I was like, I'm just not in the mood. It's not working for me. I'm done. She went an entire day, maybe even a few days, telling me how horrible she felt that I rejected her. It was the first time I had ever rejected her because I was the only one pursuing. Ever. She never pursued me for sex. So I was always the one pursuing her, and it wasn't constant. Maybe once a week I'd be like, hey, we haven't had sex in a while. And we'd have an argument. And finally, she's trying to have sex with me, and I'm like, this is not sexy to me. I haven't felt sexy in months, actually. So, sorry for the rambling, but it's not that she was like feeling like I was a creep. She was withholding sex and being selfish, pretty much. Now we're at the point where she just doesn't care about me sexually now. I know she just sees it as a chore most of the time but she never just wants to do stuff for the sake of making me feel good. Oh. Relatable. Or taking some stress off after a long day. I work front lines, 911. It can be stressful. Alright, if you work for 911, that means you're in the United States and your English is just terrible, sir. What the fuck? Anyway, no hate on this guy, totally get it. I see where he's coming from. There are women who will put chores like vacuuming, doing laundry, and cleaning the toilet above sex. In the beginning, sex is priority, right? And then once they get used to you, they don't think you're ever going to leave them. They put sex at the bottom. It is the last thing that they want at the end of the day. It is the last thing that they want at the end of their month. They don't want sex a lot of the time. A lot of women. It's not all women, but it's a lot of women. And it's really mostly women. Because there are men out there who also refuse sex. But it's mostly women who do this. And they see it as a chore, as something just to check off their to-do list. That's not how to look at sex. Looking at sex like a chore or a to-do list is like looking at your child like a burden, right? And we all know children are burdens sometimes. But I think most parents would be like, they would die for their child, you know? So they look at it like that. They try to look at it like that, right? But most parents don't solely look at their children as burdens. Maybe I could find a better example. I mean, looking at sex as a chore is like looking at exercise as... I want to say a chore, but it kind of is a chore, because sex is supposed to be just purely pleasurable. What is purely pleasurable and good for you and healthy? Having sex, looking at sex like a chore is like, I don't know, maybe looking at hygiene as a chore, you know? Like not wanting to brush your teeth. To me, brushing my teeth feels really good. To me, taking a shower feels really good. I'm trying to think of something that's pleasurable. Eating? It's like looking at eating as a chore? I don't know. But sex is... Oh my fucking god, my cat just scared the shit out of me. Lord. I think she wants to leave. You want to leave? You want to leave? Yeah? Go! She doesn't like the sex discussion. She's my daughter. But, okay, so here's the thing. But she never wants to do stuff just for the sake of making me feel good. That's where the relationship starts to break down. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about sex. It's about, I do everything you want me to do, right? It's like, I clean the house, I do the chores, I pay most of the bills, I take care of the pets, I give you back rubs and foot rubs, I cook for you, I drive everywhere for you, I make you laugh, I'm intimate in non-sexual ways, I'm vulnerable with you, I try to have hard conversations so our relationship can thrive and improve. I try to make money for us and do make more money for us. I do everything you want to do. Like, we'll go out to eat, or we'll watch TV together, or I will be interested in one of your hobbies and do one of your hobbies with you. I'm not saying that they never do anything for me, but typically in this type of dynamic, and it happened with me and my ex, you do everything that they want you to do, but they can't do the one thing that you want. They can't give you the one thing that you want, and that is sex. So what if I took all that away? What if I literally took all of that away? I stopped giving you money, I stopped giving you back rubs, I stopped hugging you and kissing you and holding you in ways that were non-sexual, I stopped cooking for you and cleaning for you and taking care of our pets, and I stopped being interested in your hobbies. Now, this sounds very transactional. The thing is, I do all those things. I buy you gifts and cook for you and clean for you and hug you and hold you and cuddle you and kiss you, and I'm interested in you and your hobbies because I like it. I like it. And I like you. But I can only go so far with that. I can only do that so much before I feel like it's one-sided, right? I can only be so giving until I feel like I'm being used. And that's what it felt like. It started to feel like I was being used because I wasn't getting what I wanted. And it just felt like we were roommates. So it's like, yeah, you can't just do something for me. Like, I understand you're not in the mood. There are ways to get in the mood. There are ways to teach yourself how to get in the mood. For me. Sometimes I would even just ask for, like, can you just, go down there? Like, we don't even have to do you. Can you just do me? And I'm sure that's what he's asking her as well. A little more common to do that in a lesbian relationship than it is in a straight relationship, unfortunately. But it sounds like he's like, I don't even care. I don't even need to stick it in. Just, like, give me something. Just for me. Just do it for me. If you love me. Anyway. Or take some stress off after a long day. This is another thing I see with women. I've asked women before. I say, how do you view sex? Do you view sex as an escape? And most of them say no. They do not view it as an escape. They view it as, they don't all necessarily view it as a chore, but they do view it as something that they have to do. And they already view sex in kind of an unhealthy manner, because I view sex as an escape. I view sex as a way to escape my reality. Like you view TV as a way to escape your reality, or your phone, or going through a walk in the woods, or kayaking. I enjoy some of these things as an escape as well, but sex is one of them. And I have noticed that people with higher libido view sex as an escape, while people with a lower libido view it as, well, a chore when they're in a long-term relationship, but even prior to that, they're already viewing sex as something that they like, especially when they just met somebody new. They like it, but it's not that important to them. It's not something that they think about. They might not even masturbate a lot. They don't view sex as an escape. They view it as something that they have to do, that they have to get their mind to be involved in. I think they call that responsive desire, where they kind of have to get into it. And it's really easy to get into it when it's somebody brand new that you just met, that you're really, really, really attracted to. But once you get used to them, once you see their flaws, once the honeymoon phase has faded, that attraction, that chemistry, that feeling that you feel that you think is love in the beginning, that actually goes away. The butterflies, the heart pounding, the can't stop thinking about you, that actually goes away because you see how real they are. You see how weird they are. You see how strange they fucking are. And you're like, why am I with this really strange, odd person? When the thing is, you thought they were God's gift when you first met them. So you were like waterfall down there. You were like leaking down there in the beginning, and now you have to actually work to get that to work. You actually have to work to get that to work. Meanwhile, men and some women have more spontaneous desire, which means they can get into the mood like that. If the girl looks at him a certain way, he's like ready. If she is just standing there naked, he's ready. If she breathes, ready. Like, I'm the same way. I have spontaneous desire, more so than responsive. Although, in long-term relationships, does my desire become a little bit more responsive? Absolutely. Do I need to work a little bit harder to get in the mood with somebody I'm a little bit more used to? Absolutely. But I'm still way more in the mood than any of my partners half the time. 9 times out of 10. So that's how I know I'm more like a man, I guess you could say, on average. More like the average man than I am like the average woman. Unfortunately, it's horrible. It's actually a curse. It's a curse. Her big thing that always needed to happen was a vasectomy. Married, 2 kids, vasectomy done. Still nothing in terms... Okay, so again, here she is moving the goalpost. If you just get the vasectomy, I'll feel more comfortable having sex because I don't want any more kids and I don't want to use a condom, or I'm tired of taking birth control. Oh, if you just do the dishes, I'll give you sex. If you mow the lawn tomorrow, you'll get sex. Oh, tomorrow's your birthday. We'll give you sex tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow's Christmas. We'll give you sex tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow's Valentine's Day? Okay, we'll give you sex tomorrow. That's how a lot of men will survive their marriages, is chasing the carrot on the string that the woman will give them, or the lower libido person will give them. If you just do this, if you just are kinder to me, if you're just more respectful, if you just stop, my girlfriend always used to say, stop touching me if we're not having sex. Stop touching me. When you touch me, it bothers me. So I stopped touching her. Tell me I'm beautiful more. Okay, you have to understand me. I'm an incredibly affectionate person. I'm touchy-feely. I'm also incredibly complimentary. If you are my woman, I will be calling you beautiful, gorgeous, sexy, wonderful, lovely all the time. So half the time I didn't know what the fuck she was talking about. Like, okay, stop being touchy-feely. That's just who I am. And I want a partner who's also touchy-feely. Okay, make me feel beautiful. I don't know how else to make you feel beautiful, because I feel like I call you beautiful all the time. I look at you all the time. It's just like always moving the goalposts. And then you do the thing that she asks of you, and still no sex. And like a lot of men will actually stay in these marriages for really long periods of time because of that little dangling carrot on the string. And she'll put out every now and then, right? Maybe once a month, or a little bit less than once a month. But that carrot on the string is his motivation. Well, she put out that last weekend. Maybe she'll put out this weekend if I'm just a good boy. Anyway, I feel like I got trapped. She said she wanted it, got me, then she changed her mind and stopped giving it out. I was there, man. I was there. I was in that relationship. Absolutely. Okay. Let's just look at some of the comments first. I would ask her, what about your current sex life she isn't enjoying? For many women, sex is highly related to emotional needs being met. Some women find it harder to get in the mood. Responsive desire, especially if their emotional needs aren't being met. Ask if she's orgasming, and really orgasming if she's not. That's a straight person thing. I do believe that men need to focus more on the clitoris, whereas they focus on penetration, and a lot of women do not get off through penetration. So if a woman is having a lot of sex but not having a lot of orgasms, they might lose interest. And a way that you can get around that is, first, I don't know how much I can say on here. First, down below, do that first, okay? You don't necessarily have to finish her, but do that first. Then do the thing, do your thing, and you get off, you're done, okay. If she doesn't get off, go back down there. Go back down there. Finish her off. And that sounded really horrible. Guys, I'm not a very sexy person, okay? I'm not sexy. Don't expect me to be. I'm mostly a silly person. I'm more silly than I am sexy, so don't expect me to sound sexy in any way, shape, or form. Anyway, another thing that I've noticed as a woman is that both work as well. So, using toys, Like she uses a vibrator while things are happening, that will work. She might even get there before you do. That's more fun. Focus more on the woman's pleasure than your pleasure, because your pleasure is easy, men. You just stick it in and it's good. It's good. A woman's pleasure is a little more complex. So if you do focus on her pleasure first, she will conflate pleasure and fun with sex more if you do that. But it's not just your responsibility, it's also her responsibility to know what she likes. And know that she's not enjoying it, and know how, or be interested in figuring out how to enjoy it. I always say it's about wanting to want it. It's not necessarily just about wanting it. It's about wanting to want it. Do you want to want your husband? Do you want to want your partner? And if you don't want to want it, then that is where the relationship is over, unfortunately. You mentioned in a comment somewhere that your wife is bipolar. She could have mental illness, sure. Mental illness can get in the way. Mental illness can get in the way. I understand it's frustrating, but the way you talk about sex, it's no wonder she doesn't want to do it anymore. Giving it out, come on. She's not a sex dispensing machine. A lot of people say this, but here's the truth. You can speak crudely about sex and not actually view sex in a crude manner. Like what I've been saying, putting it out, sticking it in. That's not how I view sex just because I'm talking like that. It's just words, man. It's just semantics. Just because he says giving it out doesn't mean he's a minute man, you know? It just doesn't mean that way. And he says right here, he admits it. Yeah, I admit that was a crude way of saying it. I was frustrated and ranting. That's what I'm saying. Just because we say putting it out doesn't actually mean I'm just like, I just want to stick it in you, and then that's it. No, he probably wants to connect with his girlfriend. That's what most men and most women want. The reason we want sex is to connect with you. Anyway, I'm not looking for a sex dispensing machine. I just feel like I ended up in the same situation as all my previous relationships. My libido being above theirs. She's also been very hurtful, to mention without getting the details. Literally has spoken the words, "I'd rather be dead than be with you." My exes have said really horrible things to me because I like sex. It's almost like they're insecure about the fact that they don't like sex, so then they project that onto you by shaming you for liking sex. They're insecure and worried about their own low libido because they don't want something to be wrong with them, so they take it out upon you. They say you're wrong for wanting sex. You're the one that's wrong, not me, you. So yeah, I've been called like a slut, a sex addict, sex crazed. That's all I think about is sex. Things like that. Oh my God, it's so damaging to your partner to shame them. To shame them not only for liking something like sex, but wanting you. Do you want them to just not want you? Like, I don't understand. Oh my dude, to be honest, I think your marriage problems run way deeper. Sexlessness is a symptom. That's usually what it is. Sexlessness is just a symptom of bigger issues. It's not about low and high libido. A lot of the time, it's more than that. Way more than that. And there's a million different combinations of what it could be, unfortunately. Yeah, she's unhappy, dude. Gonna have to talk that one out big time. What are you doing just for the sake of making her feel good? You don't create the mood for it. People are just assuming shit of him. People are assuming he's not making an environment for sex. People assume that he's not doing things for her. The truth is, most of us sexless, trapped people are givers. We're givers, and the lower libido sexless partner is a taker. So we're givers with takers. Look, he said, I've done everything I can try to help how she feels. I feel like I do the majority of the household chores and the child care. I literally ask her what she needs of me, how she's feeling. Try to be aware of her mental health. This has been stewing for years now. She got diagnosed with bipolar after kids. She's medicated, but she gets vicious when she's mad. She said the worst things anyone has ever said to me. If anything, he should be the one that doesn't want to have sex with her, but he still wants it. I'm surprised he still wants it. Like, all of this goes way deeper than the sex life. I was just ranting about the sex. But this goes way deeper. So he's aware. He's also aware that this is way deeper than just sex. Abso-fucking-lutely. Now people are blaming the medication. Okay. She's obviously got issues. And that's what I have noticed, that people who don't want sex or have given up on sex, they're the ones with issues. They're the ones with mental health issues, and they don't know how to fix it. They're scared. They may not even want to fix it. So they just give up on the sex. They give up on their relationship. They don't get the help that they need. They don't want to admit that something is wrong. And so then they project their insecurities, their fears out onto their partner, unfortunately, both by withholding sex and by shaming their partner for wanting it, for even wanting it. How dare you want a relationship in a monogamous? How dare you want sex in this monogamous relationship? I'm gonna force you into celibacy, goddammit. You know, they say sex needs consent. I agree. But sexlessness, asexuality, in a monogamous committed relationship also needs consent. You need to be able to go to your partner and say, hey, I don't want to have sex anymore. Are we cool with that? And your partner should be allowed to say, no. Anyway, edit. Let me know what you think. Ranting, but I need advice. I don't know what to do. Also grammar. Oh, somebody else pointed out his grammar. Great. I feel like there has been a lot of assuming I'm just negligent or ignorant towards my wife. I try to be as supportive as possible, and there's major focus on her mental health needs, etc. My marriage goes a lot deeper than sex stuff here. I know that. I was just making a post about the sex life. Exactly. People always assume, oh, she doesn't want to have sex with you? What aren't you doing? Oh, she doesn't want to have sex with you? Are you trying to force her? Oh, she doesn't want to have sex with you? You must be a creep. Oh, she doesn't want to have sex with you? Meanwhile, every fucking movie and TV show of our time has always made fun of the trope that men never get to have sex in their relationships. Come on, people. It's a well-known fact that women tend to withhold sex from their husbands or the higher libido person. It's not as commonly talked about in the lesbian world, but there is something called lesbian bed death. And what do you think that is? It's a dead bedroom in a lesbian relationship. And it happens a lot. A hell of a lot. It's happened in every single one of my relationships. Because women just refuse to take accountability for their own issues going on in their head. And since their responsive desire, their desire for sex, has a lot to do with what's going on up here. Now, I don't want to sound insensitive. It could be a mental illness that she has. It could be stress. It could be trauma-related, childhood trauma, SA trauma, insecurity, not feeling sexy, not feeling beautiful. And I do want to just say, if you don't feel sexy or beautiful, it's not your partner's fault. Okay? You should feel sexy or beautiful, even if your partner makes you feel ugly. My last partner in the sexless relationship, how do you think I felt? I felt fucking ugly to her. I felt so ugly to her. But I said to myself, I feel ugly to her. I know I'm not ugly. I know I just mentioned a few minutes ago that I wasn't sexy. I don't know how to act sexy. I don't know how to be like, but I know that I look sexy and I'm desirable, and like, at least that's how I feel about myself. I do know that I'm sexy and cool and fun and a fantastic partner to be with, and I deserve somebody who sees that. And so I separated, thinking, okay, I don't feel sexy with her, but I know that I am, so therefore I know that I deserve somebody who also sees what I see in myself. That's the point. So women who refuse sex because they don't feel sexy, it's not your husband's fault. Okay? It's not your partner's fault you don't fucking feel sexy. Anyway, that's my rant. Let me know what you think down below. Do you think this, like, sexless stuff is I get so many people in my comments down below that say, like, sex is useless. There's no reason that we should have sex. Eventually, sex goes out the window, and you just have to deal with it. There's no reason to be having sex unless you're procreating, and things like that. I get weird comments down below. But let me know what you think, because probably going to talk about this again. I love talking about sexless relationships. I fucking love it. Anyway, let me know what you think down below, and I will see you. Sorry, I'm burping. I will see you in the next sexy video.